Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. Well, welcome everybody. It's been quite a 24 hours. Big liquidations, big dumps, all across the board. So I've got a lot of news to cover tonight. Some of the stories overlap a little bit, so I'm going to do my very best to sort of not touch on the stuff we've already covered, but I've got several stories lined up. I want to talk about exactly what happened yesterday and how it affected the crypto market and how it affected you personally. We'll see. You guys can throw out what you thought about and what happened to you yesterday. I, for one, did not lose a penny. I had all of my cryptocurrency on my hardware wallet and it never went anywhere. And someone mentioned in the chat, I noticed earlier, that they lost a lot yesterday. I haven't lost anything because I haven't sold anything. So if you're a long-term trader, you don't take a loss until you actually make that trade. So as long as you're still holding, you really haven't lost anything, even though it is quite shocking to look at the value of your portfolio. Most of these losses that we're going to talk about tonight were people that were trading leveraged and were in the futures market or trading options and stuff like that. And even some of these prices that I'm going to throw out there, those were future trading pair prices. Those weren't spot trading prices. So try to keep all of this in perspective as we go through it. I'm going to go as deep as I can into this. There may have even been some crazy market manipulation going on. So, and some exchanges failing to make trades, which led to losses and liquidations. So I'm going to cover everything for you guys and hope that you guys enjoy everything that we talk about tonight. I did pick up, I wish I had more money on the sidelines. It's always good to have some money on the sidelines, but I did pick up a little bit of Solana this morning and a little bit of SUI token this morning on Kraken. So I'll move that from Kraken into my wallet later, and you can see how we move crypto. So welcome everybody. Let's go over here to the big screen. And it looks like Dusted in Shadow has already gifted a membership to some lucky person. Looks like Fred was the lucky winner tonight. That's really nice of you, Dusted in Shadow. So Roland Kane was in here first. Amsterdam Holland was here. I did continue what I was doing last Saturday when we were attempting to claim the midnight airdrop, and I was recording. So I've got a video of what exactly happened to me, and I ended up getting an error message, the same one that Amsterdam Holland got and maybe someone else in the stream. So I'll cover that as well. We'll do that later. And then I think Dan told me he got his based on his ADA holdings using the Eternal wallet. So Midnight token is going to live on the ADA or Cardano blockchain, so it makes sense that it was successful claiming it on the ADA chain based on ADA. So, but they advertise that you can claim Midnight token based on holdings in Bitcoin and Solana and a couple others, and none of those work for me. And they also claim that they have enhanced hardware support. And I was not able to get my claim my airdrop using my hardware device, which I had holdings that qualified. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Kenny is here. Kenny, thank you so much for the news. I used a few of your news stories in the stream tonight. Vandal89, Hans Hannah 350. Mike is here. Gregory Whelan, W, Amsterdam Holland. I think I said hello to you already. E. Poston from Colorado. AK Ramtech, happy Dumptober. Picked up some XRP this morning. Good news. Let's see, Andreas Ebert, HR by Catherine, PC Popsery. Dan the Man is here tonight, our moderator. Thank you for being here, Dan. Afro Wester. Awesome. Let's see where we're at. I just want to make sure I say hello to everybody that's here that's posting. CC is here and Droz0112. Good to have everybody here tonight. Let's jump into the news. If you've never been in the stream before, I've got all these news stories posted down below and with links so that you can read them in their full later if you want to. We've got an overview of what we're going to talk about. And let's see. Of course, check out my Ledger page. Now, I would call these companies that I'm going to share with you sponsors, but I want to make it clear that none of these companies pay me to do videos. I get commission if someone clicks my link. So I do get paid after the fact, but that's on the choice of the user. That's not the company paying me directly to promote their product. So I kind of want to, it's a fine distinction, but I want to make that clear so that you don't think I'm just some paid shill. But I am in certain ways because I love their products and I advocate Ledger, and I have a good relationship with Ledger, and I am going to Paris next week. I will leave a week from Monday. So we still had a little more over a week before myself and my lovely wife are going to go to Paris for the Ledger Open event. We're very excited about it, and I'll keep you guys all in the loop. So you can get great deals on Ledger using my landing page. You get $10 worth of Bitcoin as a base, and then when they run specials, they update my page. So I like them and they like me. Stampseed, another great company, a product I believe in. You stamp your seed phrase into pure titanium. It's a great way to store your seed phrase. It's durable, fireproof, waterproof, shockproof, fade proof, all that great stuff, and something I totally get behind, and I believe in this company. I have a good relationship with them as well. Tangem is running a special on their Tangem ring. Look, they're giving a Bitcoin rebate now too. And so if you're on the ring page, this is their checkout page, using the 15 off ring checkout code and the CryptoDad checkout code, you can get a total of 25% off the price of the Tangem ring. Now, it only works 10%. Well, let's see. What is that? No, that's only 10%. Yeah, I don't know why it's still showing up there. But yeah, it's only good on the ring. Let me make sure. I do have, let's see here, Tangem. I don't have the Tangem in here. Let me see if I can find that one real quick. I'm pretty sure that I have that one. Let's see here. I believe it's in this one. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Tangem ring deal. And they've brought it back. It was gone for a bit. And now it's back. So you can get that deal, and that link right there will apply both of those discount codes for you. Let's see, we're down into the latest videos that I posted. I've been posting videos quite regularly. I did a video on this Tangem deal. I did a Ledger firmware update video. You guys saw me do that last week. And then I did this stolen wallet crypto. That's the thumbnail that I used tonight. That both hands on the head facial expression. Someone was saying, "Oh, Rex is worried about the market dump," but really that was just a pose for your expression of someone stealing your hardware wallet. So went over what you do if someone steals your hardware wallet. Check your balance in your app. If it's good, then you know that they haven't accessed your crypto. Get a new device, restore it with your seed phrase, and then move your crypto somewhere else just to be safe in case they crack your PIN, which is Very doubtful. But a lot of people worry about someone stealing their hardware device, and it could happen if someone, or a friend or acquaintance that knows you have hardware might snag it while they're there, or somebody might break in or whatever. But just stealing the device is really not a big deal. It's a nothing burger. So I just kind of ran that video on a whim. All right, so let's dive into the news. We got a lot to cover here. Bitcoin plummets to 102K on Binance, right? This is not, there is no set overall price for Bitcoin, no official price. It's runs different prices on different exchanges. So it was only on Binance that it got down to 102K, and that was a futures trading pair. Bitcoin plunged to in the Binance perpetual futures pair after Trump announced sweeping tariffs on China on Friday, reigniting fears of a broader trade and market sell-off. U.S. President Donald Trump announced 100% tariff on China on Friday, sending the price of Bitcoin reeling below 110 at the time of writing. Trump said the tariffs were in response to China attempting to place export restrictions on rare earth minerals, which are crucial for creating computer chips. Trump wrote on Truth Social. Okay, this is the post. I've got it here. Let's see. It's basically based on the fact that China has taken this unprecedented position and speaking only for the USA, not other nations who were similarly treated, starting November 1st, 2025, or sooner, depending on the future actions or changes taken by China, the United States of America will impose a tariff of 100% on China over and above any other tariff they are currently paying. Also, November 1st, we will impose export controls on any and all critical software. So right back at you, China. Okay, so that was the announcement, and this article pretty much covers that. Okay, so shortly after Trump's announcement, Bitcoin, BTC USD futures pair, here we go, futures pair on Binance Exchange fell as low as 102, which is a low not seen since late June when Bitcoin dropped below 100 grand. Bitcoin spot prices at Coinbase hit an intraday low of 107. Okay, so there we are, spot prices on Coinbase. While data from CoinGlass shows 9.4 billion total crypto market positions liquidated in the last 24 hours, with a 7.15 billion being leveraged longs. So we're talking about people that are betting on the future price of Bitcoin and have leveraged themselves. We're not talking about people that are simply holding crypto on exchanges. We're talking about advanced traders doing advanced stuff. The wider crypto market also succumbed to the carnage, with Ether falling to 3,500 at Coinbase. And we can see the current price is 37, and Sol dropping below 140 in its futures pair at Binance. And now you can see the spot price is 177, but that's a big drop from where it was. And if you look at the top here, you're seeing some upsides. These are ups from the lows of exactly 24 hours ago. So it looks green up there, but really it's just kind of a bounce back, but a lot less than where they were a few days ago. Rare earth elements are essential for semiconductor production. By threatening to tighten access to critical materials, China strains the global hardware pipeline, including for AI, high-performance computing, and crypto mining infrastructure. Meanwhile, U.S. measures targeting Chinese tech exports and investment are part of a broader push to curb dependency on foreign market manufacturing. Broader crypto markets turn red following the tariff announcement, with Ether and Solana extending losses alongside Bitcoin, down 12 and 14% respectively at the time of writing. I believe this article was updated 17 hours ago. And then I have this other article which pretty much covers the same story. Basically just goes over the same figures here, and the Trump's tweet or Trump's Truth Media post, we'll say. The broader market impact, we talked about that. Talked about rare earth and its rare earth elements and their importance to the semiconductor market. Cryptocurrency fell 3,000. Any and all critical software, we talked about that. Traders compared the price action to the March 2020 market crash during COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns. Prominent trader Bob Lucas called it COVID-level nukes and described the action as nasty. There are a lot of people in incredible pain right now, myself included in that. Not really a lot to say, but check in on your friends. If you have a moment, make sure they are okay. Ram Ahluwalia, founder of Lumina Wealth, said the Trump news combined with overbought market conditions led to the sharp decline. Trader Pentashi noted the flush was in the top 3 all-time for market crashes. Zahir Ebdikar, CIO of Split Capital, stated that altcoins reached levels not seen in more than a year. He described it as a full leverage reset and market dislocation. Ooh, I just dislocated my market. The global market capitalization stood at $3.64 trillion at the time of writing, representing an 11.8 decrease in over 24 hours. That's a stark fact right there. Now, this is one of my favorite news places to get kind of alt news. Pardon me, my mouth is drying out here. Had a feeling that was going to happen. Crypto market traders were hit by record liquidations just days after Bitcoin touched an all-time high, after President Trump triggered a wave of cross-market volatility, saying he would impose an additional tariff on China and export controls on software. October has historically been a particularly strong month for Bitcoin's price, a long-standing pattern that has led much of the crypto industry to expect the same results come every fall. The trend at first seemed poised to continue. The first week of this month, Bitcoin surged some 10.5% to a new all-time high price of north of 126. If you look back at last week's live stream, we were celebrating the new all-time high for Bitcoin. And here we are this week. Bitcoin plunged to 105, its lowest since June, following Trump's after-hours tweet yesterday. I don't know where they're getting that. That might be a spot price. That might be a futures pair. We don't know. Before bouncing back above 112. Ethereum was also clubbed like a baby seal, but that was the least of it, as dozens of so-called altcoins saw almost total wipeouts. For people who still don't know how bad yesterday was, here's a quick summary. Atom went from $4 to 0.001 cent. Sui went from $3.40 to 56 cents. Apt went from $5 to 75 cents. SEI went from 28 cents to 7 cents. Link went from $22 to $8. ADA went from 80 cents to 30 cents. Now, they don't specify, but I'm assuming those are futures trading pairs. Maybe spot prices briefly. We're going to talk a little bit more on some of these other stories. These were very brief dips and quick rebounds. Top 100 blue chips nuked 80% in a few minutes. An ex-post, more than 1,000 wallets on Hyperliquid were completely wiped out in the market crash, losing everything. In total, 6,300 plus wallets are in the red, with combined losses exceeding 1.23 billion. 205 wallets lost over 1 million. 1,070 plus wallets lost over 100K. CoinDesk reports that leaderboard data reviewed by CoinDesk showed the top 100 traders on Hyperliquid, which is a cryptocurrency trading and futures platform. 100 traders on Hyperliquid gained 1.69 billion collectively. Gained, not lost, gained. In comparison, the top 100 losers dropped 743.5 million, leaving a net profit of 951 million concentrated among a handful of highly leveraged short sellers. The biggest winner wallet was whatever, and these wallets, I guess, I don't know if Hyperliquid is centralized or decentralized. They're talking about wallet addresses, so they must mean it's decentralized. I'm not sure. Or they may just be talking about the wallet addresses of their accounts on Hyperliquid. This big wallet made over 700 million from short positions, while the largest loser, the white whale, dropped 6.25 million. As Cointelegraph reports, traders betting big on the bull run suffered to an extent never seen in crypto market history. Data from CoinGlass indicates that 24-hour liquidations reached 20 billion, with long positions comprising the vast majority. CoinGlass described this as the largest liquidation event in crypto history. Over the past 24 hours, bets worth more than 19 billion have been wiped out, and more than 1.6 million traders liquidated, according to CoinGlass data. More than 7 billion of these positions were sold in less than 1 hour of trading on Friday. The actual loss is likely much higher. Binance only reports one liquidation order per second, CoinGlass said on X. The 19.31 billion in liquidations is more than 10 times the losses seen during the COVID-19 crash, 1.2 billion, and the FTX collapse, which was only 1.6 billion. Crypto.com CEO Chris Marsalek has called for a regulatory investigation into exchanges that suffered the largest losses following a record 20 billion in crypto liquidations. I've got more on that. We'll just go to the next one. Here we go. Exchange order book liquidity showed a severe imbalance between bids and ask. Resistance was stacked around 120,000, while little support was in place to prevent a fresh dive towards the $100,000 mark. There's the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. In an X post on Friday, Bitwise, European head of research, said that the company's intraday crypto sentiment index just generated a strong contrarian buying signal. Okay. Earlier this week, the index was in greed territory. We're going to cover that story too. Let me just let you look at the Lark Davis what just happened. This is the Wealth Mastery newsletter. I get this. You can read the. I've got this article linked down below. It's going to ask you to sign up, but you can just click read anyway if you want to read it. It's free. This is an interesting take. Rarely does the crypto market leave you speechless, but today is one of those days. Man, over 19 billion in liquidations. Worse than COVID, worse than FTX. Sad day for the market. A lot of people are hurting. Let's try to unpack what happened. We don't have enough crypto yet, Dad. Don't worry, son. I'll take care of it. That's one of those memes because it appears, Trump was the cause of all this, and there may have been some insiders that were aware of this. Who knows how long he takes to come up with an idea before he gets to, his phone and start posting. It's been a brutal few hours to say the least, with near 20 billion wiped off the crypto market. There's the comparison there. The COVID crash was 1.2 billion in liquidations. The FTX crash was 1.6 billion in liquidations, and yesterday, Dumptober, 19.3 billion in liquidations. Longs took 86% of the hit. The market moved so fast that stop losses didn't even work. Exchanges stopped working. ETH fees went insane. We're sorry to anyone who got caught up in this with trades open when the cascade happened. This sucks. This hurts a lot. This is all part of the high risk, high reward game that we play. Now, these, when we talk about high risk, high reward, we're talking about leveraged traders here. We're not talking about hodlers. People like me that had Bitcoin in their wallet yesterday morning and had Bitcoin in their wallet last night and right now, right? I did not sell any of my Bitcoin. So I really haven't lost anything, right? So hold your crypto in a wallet. That's my advice. Don't be out there doing leverage trades. That's for big risk takers. Okay, so I'm going to try not to overlap too much, but I want to try and cover this as deep as possible. Bitcoin wobbles at 110 as traders say 20 billion liquidation route not bottom. Bitcoin stayed near 3-week lows after a giant 20 billion liquidation cascade, but crypto market predictions warned that the bottom was not in yet. So we covered most of this. Bitcoin price action fails to stage a rebound from multi-week lows, with 100,000 getting closer. Bitcoin pressured 110. We know about this. Traders see start of crypto cleanse. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin US dollar struggling to rebound after falling to 3-week lows on Bitstamp. Fresh market nerves over the U.S. trade war punished risk assets across the board. The S&P 500 closed down 2.7 Friday, while gold emerged as a rare beneficiary, heading back above $4,000 an ounce. I'm wondering about this because, as far as I can tell, the Truth Social post was yesterday at 4:50 p.m., which I guess is like 10 minutes before the close of the market. So I don't know why the S&P closed down so low on Friday, unless it all happened in that last 10 minutes. Amid the crypto carnage, Bitcoin's relative strength index became deeply oversold. 4-hour RSI was at levels not seen since the start of the trade war debacle in February. Seeing a lot of short positions rolling off here aggregately. That's a good one. Some passive buying ongoing mostly via spot Coinbase. A bit of a Coinbase premium, ATM2. Spreads across the board are still super wide. MMs, money managers, probably assessing damage before liquidity returns much later. Here's the Bitcoin and Coinbase Spot 6K price slip on Binance Spot versus Coinbase Spot. Although Binance did 81.9K Bitcoin in volume in that 4-hour candle. Skew added that even major crypto exchanges had struggled during the downside volatility. Fellow trader Roman, who was cautious about the strength of the bull market in recent weeks, predicted that new lows were to come. This isn't the bottom, he told his ex-followers. There's over 30 million altcoins that are mostly scam projects. BTC also went up 700% from its macro bottom. The long-awaited crypto cleanse has begun. That's funny because last week all we were hearing was that, Bitcoin was going to reach 500,000 before the end of the year, and all kinds of pie-in-the-sky predictions. Get a little downside and the doomsayers crawl out from their hiding places. Traders betting big on the bull run suffered to an extent never before seen in crypto market. We've said that. Liquidations, heat map. Okay, we went over that. Crypto sentiment flips to fear as Bitcoin plunges after Trump tariffs. The last time the crypto fear and greed index dropped to this level of fear, Bitcoin's price was trading around 80,000. Crypto market sentiment has dropped to its lowest level in almost 6 months after U.S. President Donald Trump announced 100% tariffs on China. Crypto fear and greed index, which gauges overall market sentiment, fell to a fear level of 27 in its Saturday's update, representing a decline of 37 points from Friday's greed reading of 64. The decline came as Bitcoin briefly dipped to 102 on the Binance futures pair following Trump's announcement. Crypto market is flashing strong buying signal, says analyst. So not all doom and gloom. In an X post on Friday, Bitwise European head of research Andrei Dragosh said that the company's intraday crypto asset sentiment index just generated a strong contrarian buying signal. The index reached an intraday low of negative 2.8 standard deviations, its lowest level since the yen carry trade unwind in the summer of 2024. Haha. The last time the crypto fear and greed index was this low was April 16th, shortly after Bitcoin tumbled to 77,000 amid uncertainty escalating around trade tensions. Just days before, on April 9th, Trump had made his first announcement of tariffs. Interestingly, sentiment analyst Brian Quinlan pointed out on Friday that Bitcoin's recent all-time highs didn't generate the same level of enthusiasm on social media as previous all-time highs. I found that interesting too, because last week for the stream I was looking for Bitcoin hits all-time high story, and I didn't see any of them. That used to be the front page blast whenever Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, and last week the reaction seemed to be muted. It was like a modest run-of-the-mill reaction from the crypto audience, Quinvillian said in an interview with the Thinking Crypto podcast on YouTube on Thursday, referring to the level of bullish comments across social media after Bitcoin reached new highs of 125,100 on Monday. Really wasn't much of anything. It's not nearly as euphoric as some of these previous ones. Interesting. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about market failures, exchange failures, trading failures, and perhaps market manipulation, right? Crypto.com CEO Chris Marsalek has urged regulators to probe exchanges after $20 billion in liquidations, far outpacing any previous market crash, including FTX. Chris called for a regulatory investigation into exchanges that suffered the largest losses following a record $20 billion in crypto liquidations over the last 24 hours. Regulators should conduct a thorough review of fairness of practices, asking whether trading platforms had slowed down, mispriced assets, or failed to maintain proper anti-manipulation and compliance controls during the crash. Regulators should look into the exchanges that had most liquidations in the 24 hours, he wrote, any of them slowing down to a halt, effectively not allowing people to trade. Were all trading prices correct in line with indexes? Data from CoinGlass showed that Hyperliquid led all exchanges in liquidations, recording $10.31 billion in wiped out positions. It was followed by Bybit with $4.6 billion and Binance with $2.4 billion. Other major platforms like OKX, HTX, and Gate saw smaller totals at $1.2 billion, $362.5 million, and $264.5 million, respectively. So as you can see, most of these losses occurred on Hyperliquid, which is, I don't know if you can even trade on that in the U.S. I didn't even think to check on that. In an announcement, Binance confirmed a price depeg incident involving Athena's USDE. BNSOL and WBETH led to forced liquidations for some users. The exchange said it is reviewing the affected accounts and appropriate compensation measures. The announcement came after some users reported loss due to platform errors. One Binance trader claimed the exchange fully closed their short position while leaving their long open, leading to a total loss. I think Kenny might understand what this guy's talking about, because I sure don't. The user said the issue was not related to auto deleveraging and noted that some similar trades on other platforms, such as Lighter and Extended, survived the crash. Since we're all talking about how exchanges exchanges functioned during yesterday's nuke, let me tell you how I got liquidated on Binance. I was running a pair trade, one long and one short position. As the prices started nuking, my margin got low, and instead of partially liquidating both positions, Binance decided to completely close my short position and keep my long fully open, which then obviously got liquidated. And no, it wasn't ADL, which is auto deleveraging. Was running similar positions on lighter and extended, which perfectly survived the crash. Not sure we'll continue to trade on Binance after this. Better to trade on DEXs with zero fees, plus I get points. Binance co-founder Yi He also acknowledged user complaints in a public apology, citing significant market fluctuations and a substantial influx of users. Interesting. New users? Where'd they come from? She said Binance would compensate verified cases where platform errors caused losses, but emphasized that losses resulting from market fluctuations and unrealized profits are not eligible. According to data accumulated by crypto analyst Quentin Francois, the latest crypto market wipeout has eclipsed every previous downturn. We talked about that. We talked about the Trump tariffs. All right, let's dive into this a little bit more. I wanted to bring up this Reddit post here where they're talking about this. Almost 9 billion in the past 24 hours. Most alts dropped 70 to 90%. SUI dropped 90% on Kraken. I believe this was a well-calculated event, and the hands behind it are dirty. Absolutely nobody saw it coming. Right? It's very unexpected because everyone was, it's October last week, and then all of a sudden on Friday, right as the markets were closing, Trump tweets and all hell breaks loose. Trump has announced tariffs, but this was something else entirely. I was reviewing the order books literally seconds before it happened, and I was wondering why there was such an unusual amount of buy orders at what seemed like impossible prices. So people were putting in limit trades, I guess, which you call them. I always trade market. Dan's always on me about that. People were putting in buy orders for AVAX at $8, Tau at 140, Doge at 9 cents. I know there are always buy orders at these levels, but this time the volume was massive. I mean, SUI dropped to 16 cents. Come on. Let's see. I'm so glad I don't leverage trade, but seeing alts go down 80 to 90% in an hour and then back up to where they're only down 20% for the day is extremely strange. I've heard of market manipulation by market makers, whales, all the time and just kind of ignored it. Now I fully 100% believe that's what's going on. Sorry it took me so long to realize. I was unable to buy these major dips on Kraken myself. Literally minutes. Some alts down 80 to 90% in the span of 5 to 6 minutes. You can see the exact moment they hit a certain price. And 20 billion to 100 billion in buy volume gets executed in the next 2 minutes, which means that as these 5 or 6 minutes when these altcoins crashed, there were people with orders placed waiting to come in and snatch up all these deals, right? Doesn't seem right, does it? I'll try to get this off here. This is a scam. This is a grift. They are robbing us. We need to rise up. Yep. Anybody can tell how sharply it dropped and how quickly it got bought up again. Been 8 years in crypto. Never seen a 40% drop across the market in a 20 to 30 minute time frame and then gets bought almost as quickly. Not even the initial tariff war in February, April did such a hard hourly drop. And you think it was more of a shock back then. The tariffs on China now, everybody knows he's going to taco. The U.S. military and economy is very dependent on rare earth metals, so China holds all the cards. Yeah, horribly inefficient markets with the illusion of liquidity, both on the upside and downside, makes for easy pickings by traders that know how to fleece unsophisticated investors. Induced statistical arbitrage is delightfully profitable. There was a very large reckless shorts before this event. No one shorts that much. That's 100% insider trading, most likely coming from the Trump camp as they knew what was coming. You don't play shorts like that without serious insider knowledge. I bet Cheeto Man got a nice fat kickback under the table. So the Redditors who are seem like they're paying attention are crying foul. So I kind of wanted to bring that one up. We're really covering the news most of this, but let me hit these last two stories here. Morgan Stanley opens crypto funds to all clients. Oh, bad timing, but good news, right? Morgan Stanley's wealth management division will initially cap crypto allocations and begin with Bitcoin funds from BlackRock and Fidelity. Okay, so Morgan Stanley's only recommending BlackRock and Fidelity. Okay, potentially adding choices later. Morgan Stanley, one of the largest wealth managers, has reportedly informed its financial advisors that all clients will be able to invest in cryptocurrency funds starting October 15th. Interesting timing. Advisors will be able to offer crypto funds to clients with individual retirement accounts and 401ks, a significant shift from the previous policy that restricted access to high net worth investors with over 1.5 million in assets and an aggressive risk profile. The move could unlock millions of dollars currently tied up in other assets, paving the way for a portion of that capital to flow into cryptocurrencies. As of June 30th, U.S. retirement assets total about $45.8 trillion, with IRAs holding about $18 trillion and 401k plans about $9.3 trillion, according to the Investment Company Institute's latest quarterly update. Morgan Stanley's wealth management division employs about 16,000 financial advisors across its advisory network and oversees roughly $6.2 trillion in assets, serving more than 19 million client relationships, according to the company's 2025 annual shareholder letter. To ensure clients don't take on excessive exposure to crypto, Morgan Stanley will use automated systems, and for the time being, advisors can only offer Bitcoin funds managed by BlackRock and Fidelity. The company is monitoring the market for other crypto products. Yeah, right. Institutions are beginning to see digital assets not just as speculative investments, but as an investable asset class that needs structured access points. In October, a report from Morgan Stanley's Global Investment Committee advised a cautious approach to crypto, suggesting up to a 4% exposure in high-risk opportunistic growth portfolios, 2% in balanced growth, and none in income and preservation strategies. But considering the amount of money that they manage and the money that their clients have, this 4% exposure in a average portfolio, from within a 401k or an IRA could be massive, right? So we're looking at a lot of new money coming into crypto, but it's all going into BlackRock, and Fidelity, but it will affect the spot price. Morgan Stanley's policy shift comes as several of the world's largest asset managers deepen their involvement in digital assets. In April, Fidelity launched a new suite of retirement accounts. In June, global banking finance services giant JP Morgan said it would allow trading and wealth management clients and use crypto exchange traded funds, ETF, as collateral for loans. Let's leverage the system even more. The bank also said it would favor clients' crypto holdings into its assessments of overall net worth. And BlackRock is looking to expand its offerings after spot ETF became the company's most profitable fund, generating $245 million in fees over the past year. That's just fees. On September 11th, Bloomberg reported that BlackRock is exploring ways to tokenize ETFs on blockchain networks, which could allow them to trade around the clock and serve as collateral within decentralized DeFi applications. So the big boys are getting in on the game, and they just had a Black Swan event that allowed them to scoop up even more. People are getting rich. Okay. Banks explore launching a stablecoin linked to G7 currencies. The group of banks said the stablecoin initiative would explore the benefits of digital assets and bringing new products to the market. Crazy stuff going on. A group of banks in the process of exploring the launch of stablecoins focused on some of the world's biggest fiat currencies, including the US dollar, euro, and Japanese yen. According to a Friday statement from BNP Paribas, banks including Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, and Citi said that they had launched a project to explore the issuance. Okay, these banks are going to issue stablecoin on a one-to-one reserve-backed form of digital money that provides a stable payment assets available on public blockchains. Yeah, we know what stablecoins are. Linked to currency from the group of 7 countries. The United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. The objective of the initiative is to explore whether a new industry-wide offering could bring... Dustin and Shadow, thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. Could bring the benefits of digital assets and enhance competition across the market while ensuring full compliance with regulatory requirements and best practice risk management, said the banks. The statement did not suggest a timeline for the project, which would likely face competition from Tether's US Tether, the largest stablecoin by market capitalization. Among U.S. banks, their efforts would likely be facilitated by the recent passage of the Genius Act, a bill to regulate payment stablecoins signed into law by U.S. President Donald Trump in July. Though already law, Genius is not expected to take effect for another 15 months or 120 days after the U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve finalized regulations around the bill. There are some concerns. Crypto advocates have largely praised the passage of the U.S. stablecoin bill. Many banks, however, have called for lawmakers and regulators to address loopholes in the law. Yeah, we're not getting a piece of that action, so that would allow interest-bearing stablecoins, right? We're talking about staking returns, right? Banks don't like that, right? Because they don't like people getting a better return than them, claiming they would threaten financial stability or their bottom line. Multicoin Capital's co-founder and managing partner Tushar Jain said on Saturday that he expected bank customers to move their bank deposits into higher yield stablecoins as a result of the new law, making tech companies more competitive with financial institutions. However, Circle Chief Strategy Officer Dante Disparte suggested that the language of the bill ensures that tech companies and banks don't dominate the stablecoin market. In addition to Tether's U.S. Tether, with a market capitalization of more than $178 billion at the time of writing, the largest stablecoins included U.S. dollar-pegged U.S. dollar coin, DAI, Athena USDE. That's the one that got depegged on Binance they were talking about earlier. PayPal USD and USD1, the coin launched by the Trump family. So there are a lot of people in the stablecoin game now. Interesting, too, I was looking over on Ledger Live, and they usually have like this is the 1 week trend. Look, usually they're like top coins. Well, Zcash is up there. For some reason, Zcash is up 73%, which is a privacy coin. And all of the other top coins are stablecoin because they're up a little bit, right, over the last week. We've got Binance pegged US Tether, Binance Smart Chain up 15.15%, Tether up 0.12%, Leo token, which I don't know what that is, and US dollar coins. So it's really strange to see the stable coins in this list here. All right. So, wow, that was a lot of news. We're almost done with the stream. But I did want to, God, I'm sorry if I missed any. I think Dan's in there talking to people. I'm actually going to have to go through the stream later, and because I did want to move this stablecoin. And look, I don't need to really use my device here. I just go into my Solana account here and do a receive and just skip the hardware check to get the address. I don't need my device to do that. I'm comfortable with that. It is usually best practice to do the hardware check, but I'm pretty proficient. I've had this account for a while. Actually, I think this is already a withdrawal address in my Kraken account. All right, so if we go over to my Kraken account, you can see that I bought some SUI earlier and I bought some Solana earlier, and I still have some US dollar coin that I haven't used yet. So let's go ahead and withdraw the Solana. We got that address right. Let's hit withdraw. And Solana stacks. There's that address, right? So look at the address here. Ends in T24796. And that's it. T24796. So let's just go ahead and withdraw that one sol and hit review and confirm. And then we'll watch that go into my wallet where it's safe and sound. And then also let's get that SUI token. I don't think I have the SUI being managed in Ledger Live. The reason I don't do that is because some SUI coins work in Ledger Live and others don't. So I prefer to manage my SUI tokens in the Slush wallet. But that wallet is tied to my Ledger device, right? But there's the address there. It's ends in E379. So let's go over to Kraken. We're here on Kraken. Let's go back to my SUI token and let's do a withdraw. And we'll go, actually that's the one there. I set this up when it was on my Ledger Nano X, but now it's my Ledger Flex because I imported the seed phrase, but the address stayed the same. Let's just hit that, and there it is. We can double check that one more time over here. Yeah, there it is, E379. Yeah, it's the same address, right? So let's go ahead and do that withdraw. I've got my withdrawal addresses whitelisted in Kraken. That's how Kraken works. They want you to whitelist your addresses. And so we got those. Let's see if anything happens over here in Solana. That's it. Yeah, it came in already. 1011 received. One sol, just transfer that. I wish I had thousands of dollars. So my sol balance goes up. And then let's look over here in my SUI wallet. And let's look at activity. Yeah, it hasn't shown up yet. I think it just hit. Did it just hit? 1364. They don't have activity here. You have to go out to the main one. Yeah, I'm thinking it should have hit. Yeah, that doesn't seem accurate. Wasn't really paying attention. Oh yeah, there. It definitely hit. Right? So we got more SUI. Yeah, 1437. So there, it made it. Thanks for BTC Carnivore pointing out about Zcash and Leo. Thank you. And Positive Planet. Thank you guys for educating people about what those tokens were. I did want to go through this. This was me after the live stream last week. We were trying to claim that midnight airdrop. So I went back. I signed it. I did Solana. Yeah, so we chose Solana. But trust me, we chose Solana. We went to Ledger Live, and I chose desktop. When I was doing the live stream, I was like, hey, I don't want to do this. I want to use my mobile, but I could switch to desktop. So I switched to desktop. I signed my message on my device, right? I don't really want to play the video. There. I signed the message on my device. And then we got, okay, there. I'm signing the message on my device. It took me to the Wallet Connect area of the Discover section of Ledger Live, right? You got all these things to tick off. That didn't seem to work. Okay. And then I was going to get 23 night based on my Solana holdings. Everything was fine. I signed it. All right. Okay, there. Your claim has been successfully signed. And then the last step was complete claim. And that's where I got this JSON error. And I tried this several times. I was never able to get past this error message. So the last step was throwing some sort of error on their end. Amsterdam Holland sent me an email earlier. He said he got the same error, trying to do it the way he did it. But yeah, that's how we go. Emmanuel is asking me if the Ledger Recovery Key is worth it. Yes. I love the Ledger Recovery Key. I've got a Ledger Recovery Key for both of my go-to devices. The Ledger Recovery Key will allow you to back up and restore your device digitally onto a key. Let me see. Yeah, so, I've got a key for my Flex, and I've got a key for my Stacks. So if I need to reset either of those devices, the device itself gets lost, stolen, or damaged, I can just get a new one and use the key to restore in like 5 minutes. Whereas normally when you're restoring from a seed phrase, it takes I can do it in like 10 or 15 minutes. But it's kind of a pain. Most people, it's going to probably take you half an hour to do a restore from seed phrase. So these things really are lifesavers. I love these things. They're great. They're also pin protected, and you can only make 3 guesses before they reset, just like the Ledger device. Just want to make that clear. So it's not a risk to have them laying around because they're pin protected, just like the device is. Of course, you definitely want to store your seed phrase in a safe location, multiple safe locations, in case something happens to these also, right? Fire, flood, whatever, right? But yes, I recommend them. They're not that expensive, right? Yeah, that was the first comment I read in real time tonight. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm looking at this. It says, hey, wow, it's 7:31. No, that was me after the live stream. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. We spent a lot of time on the news. Big news going. I hope you liked my in-depth coverage. I'm going to go back. We're just at 7, so I'm going to go back a little bit and maybe see if there were any easy questions, some no-brainers that I could answer in a second. So I'm back in time here, looking at the. Let's do it here, right? Emmanuel, thank you so much for that donation, by the way. Let me go back up here earlier. Everyone's saying hello. That's great. Crypto markets are full of emotional people. Abel Matthew. investing in anything that they're three, they should just have been put some in ETFs. Yeah. If you're that high strung, you probably should be in ETFs or just a long holder like myself. Someone, I think last week we talked about, someone commented in my YouTube comments that nervous people weren't, it wasn't appropriate for nervous people to practice self-custody. And I tended to agree with that statement. I get a lot of, comments and emails from people, and you can just tell in my mind, I'm thinking they're just too high strung to be doing self-custody, because you can screw things up by being overly nervous, just terrified to use the device. I got a flat tire once and it's Trump's fault. The guy was talking when I got it, so it must be his fault. That's funny. It rained, it's probably Trump's fault. Pass blame onto the people will go nuts having no one to blame when Trump's gone. Yeah, that's right. I was wondering why the world will end in 2030. Now I know. I'm irresponsible and lost money on an exchange on leverage and didn't have a cold wallet. It's Trump's fault, though he said tariffs. I like this, Abel Matthew. It didn't hit my stop loss because the exchanges literally warned me about high volatility. Won't hit stop losses if moves are quick. Trump's fault. Yeah, even people that had stop loss trades in weren't getting their trades executed during those 10 to 15 minutes when all of the people were scooping up the deals, right? The Mayan calendar was mistranslated, and it does say the end of the world. It said end of age, not world. Just meant time frame and a new start, meaning calendar ends, and it's 2045, 2046 if translated. Thank you for that. Good luck. New congressmen are hard to come by, but most have been there since 1975. I'm just bugged that I couldn't buy at the lows, and that's because the exchange didn't let me. Trump's fault, yeah. Wall Street are the funders, inside trading, yes. Crypto exchanges paused high volatility holdings. You guessed it, high volatility. Now you know why. It was going down all day, both TradeFi and crypto markets near flagging all day. The fact that Bitcoin dipped exactly 102 shows precise market coordination. Yesterday was a heist. You guys tend to agree with the Redditors and my suspicions. I agree with Tony in the end, but feels like it's been like that since I've been paying attention. As long as total holds the 50 MA on the week, we're fine. Yeah, someone was telling me about the Bitcoin chart. I don't think I covered that tonight, but it hasn't dipped below a certain line, which is good news, right? On the spot market. Reddit is full of crybabies. I'll second that. There's a lot of misinformation on Reddit too, and maybe outright scammers. So take what I said in that Reddit post with a grain of salt. I did link that Reddit post down below in the description as well. November 2017, Bitcoin dropped 26.5% in 4 days. Yeah, that was a big drop. Whales, exactly. Maybe the Trump thing, just something to distract from something larger going on. Who else got some ZEC recently? That went up over 50%. I didn't buy any Zcash, but I am holding Monero, but I haven't been buying any Monero. That's probably a good bet. Thanks for the articles explaining market manipulation. Dusted in Shadows, you're welcome. BTC Carnivore, because people understand the privacy issue of it while also having the great things of Bitcoin. The maximum supply of Zcash is 21 million coins, same as Bitcoin. New ZEC coins are created as block rewards when new blocks are mined. Positive Planet Leo is a utility token by iFinex, offering Bitfinex users trading fee reductions, lending discounts, and lower withdrawal costs. Issued on Ethereum, EOS, Leo has a token burn mechanism. Okay. Zcash fixed supply at 21 million. Emmanuel, thank you again for that. I would highly recommend the Ledger recovery key. Trump needs 190 million when he has billions, over 10 billion, LOL. Yeah. So why would Trump manipulate the market? I think it's beyond his manipulation. I don't think he cares about money anymore. Maybe people around him do, though. Could be his sons, could be just insiders that hear what he's about to do and make a few well-placed phone calls. Who knows? Gold on Monday. Let's see. Hey Rex, longtime fan. You have helped me in the past. Have you ever talked about getting crypto from my Ether wallet, paper wallet, to Stacks? Also, would like to know if RSR can get to Stacks. I haven't, it's been a while since anyone's asked me about a paper wallet. There's a great video by Andreas Antonopoulos deriding anyone that thinks they should be using a paper wallet. You still hear a few people talking about paper wallets. A paper wallet is obsolete. Paper wallets became obsolete when they came out with the BIP39 protocol for seed phrases. When you initialize a hardware wallet, that backup phrase, those 24 words, is basically akin to a paper wallet, but it's flexible. It's a multi-key wallet. Instead of a paper wallet is usually a single key, and you could screw things up. I've heard a lot of people can't get their paper wallets imported, or sweeping the private keys into a working wallet. I believe it might be possible with My Ether Wallet. My Ether Wallet will allow you to import private keys. You're going to have to write the entire private key. I don't know that you can scan the QR code in My Ether Wallet. Maybe you can scan it somehow and paste it in there, but that might be a way to gain access to a paper wallet. But please don't use paper wallets anymore, guys. They've been replaced with seed phrases. All right, so Dan is saying you could probably do the Midnight token using ADA. What Dan was successful claiming his Midnight airdrop using the Eternal wallet in ADA. Unfortunately, I did not have any qualifying ADA in my ADA wallet on the snapshot for the Midnight airdrop, which was June 11th, 2025. You had to have at least $100 worth. And the more the better, right? The more you had in the claim wallet during the snapshot, the more Midnight tokens you'll get. And I was only going to get like 21 based on my Solana holdings. And even that I couldn't get. It's just buggy. That is definitely a bug on their end. And I don't think it's really worth it to get some worthless tokens that I won't even be able to have access to until next year, over the course of next year, like a certain percentage every 90 days, whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, I think I looked at it. I didn't see any burning questions. Everyone, hope you enjoyed the stream. We did mostly news tonight, but it was fun. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everyone that was here. Dusted in Shadow, thank you for gifting memberships. Dusted in Shadow, thank you for your kind donation. And Emmanuel, thank you so much for your kind donation. Thank you, Dan, so much for moderating and answering questions. And thank you, Kenny, for the news and just being there. And everyone that asked a question, thank you so much. It's always great to have you guys with me. Let's see where we stand here. We're going to do this one. Yeah, so I will be back next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my very best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Yeah, I say that so many times, sometimes I forget where I'm at. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you being here with me every Saturday night. It's always a pleasure. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. Good night, and I'll see you guys next week. And then the week after that, I'll be back from France. In 2 weeks, I'll be back. I'm only going to be there Monday through Friday. So, but I'll be posting updates from France. So look out for that. Have a good night, everybody.